Back then they napped on me, now they all just act on me. Now I'm hot, they all on me. Pull out the Snapchats on me. I ain't got no Snapchat home. I think it's too personal. That's what I got Twitter for. Instagram, I'm back, yo. Back then they napped on me, now they all just act on me. Now I'm hot, they all on me. Pull out the Snapchats on me. I ain't got no Snapchat home. I think it's too personal. That's what I got Twitter for. Instagram, I'm back, yo. Like flex on you haters. Hi haters. This is my world, so it's all in my favor.
What's up, everyone? My name is Kunal Vanjani. On today's episode, we have Salman Patel and a very special guest, Conner Greene, pitcher for the Kansas City Royals.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you having me. Glad I could make it.
So first off, if we were to know you in high school, who was Conner Greene in high school? What would you be talking about in the dugout?
If you were to know me back in high school, you would have known me as the people's person. I was about the boys, and I was for all my friends and for my teammates. Back then, I didn't have a career in baseball yet, but I did think of it as a job, just because my dad had taught me, instilled that in me at a young age. But you would have thought me as the fun-loving class clown that tried to make you laugh and whatever, and just keep you loose and keep you having a good time on the field. Because high school baseball is not always the best. Your program's not always good, and your coaches aren't always good. So you need a leader out there that's not – when the coach sits here and looks at you guys, says, none of you guys are going to make it, you need someone out there that's going to be like, look, bro, if you believe in yourself, you can make it. Don't listen to that asshole.
For sure, yeah, 100%.
Were you clowning the other team? What was the worst thing you said to the other team?
Well, I was also friends with some other people at other schools, which was fuel for more shit talking, right? So, I was clowning the other team and stuff. It would always stay classy. It would never be anything over crossing the line. But yeah, we were definitely talking trash. A lot of bragging rights around here.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So varsity from freshman year, or how'd that work with you?
So I, just like most people, I did not make varsity till my junior year. It was pretty political. I think coaches had friends and stuff, but I had a lot of talent, but I don't think I was the best at the position that I wanted to be. And so I had to wait it out until there was a spot opening. So I didn't make it till junior year, even though I may have not been good enough. But yeah.
But you never stopped grinding.
Yep, never stopped. I didn't really think much of it. Everything's perspective, If you can be in a patch of dirt, and that same patch of dirt could be something amazing for someone, and
That's
the other
true.
person thinks of it as shit. So
That's true.
Exactly.
So besides baseball, what other hobbies did you have in high school? Or what other options did you have, for example?
I was a big time into surfing when I was growing up, because all my friends got me into it. My older brother did. We were a bit into rock climbing, hiking and stuff. Luckily, I grew up in Santa Monica, California, so I'm very blessed to be around there. I only had an apartment or something, but all my friends have nice homes and stuff. Most of them, I would say. But we're blessed enough to have the mountains meet the sea. So it was constant adventure, whether it was mountain biking, or snowboarding and surfing in the same day, shit like that. So we got to do just adventure. I always loved extreme sports. Didn't go good with baseball, but I always loved them.
So you were the stereotypical Cali kid, surfing, model, and now
I would
an
think
athlete.
so. I would think so. I think me and my friend group were all very stereotypical tanned surfers Yeah.
Wait, to talk a little bit more about your modeling. How did you get involved with that side?
My mother had me in modeling when I was real young, just because I'm not sure. I think she needed some money or something. But I got into it later because of, I don't know, people just, once again, just being where you are, you're a product of your environment. So we're being in Santa Monica, just Hollywood's right around the corner. And I think just it's always an option that a lot of kids kind of know. And some kids' parents are casting directors and photographers and stuff. So you just kind of get into it by word of mouth, and you just hear about it. And people have gigs going, or they're creating companies. So right now I'm creating my retro tourist, right? And this is one of my designs.
Sir.
And I didn't mean to shout it out so early here, but my point is, so I'm having to like do all the modeling right now, but as it builds, I'll start casting and paying other guys to model for it. So like I would probably pay some high school kid that is like 18 years old. You know what I mean? That's like a fresh face for it.
So should we, in a couple of years, with your baseball career, should we expect you in a couple of movies or something?
I'd hope so. That'd be really awesome, huh?
'Cause, you do know Charlie Sheen too.
I do, and that was at one point we were talking about a Major League 5, but yeah, we'll see. I'm not opposed to anything, and I think that life is something like amazing and beautiful, and it's such a journey where you can't limit yourself to anything. You can't put a ceiling on what it is you're doing, whatever it is you're doing. So, yeah.
Tell us about how you met Charlie Sheen. What was the story involved there?
I was a kid in high school. Tony Todd, his name's Tony Todd. He's like my coach in high school. He's a Santa Monica legend, good guy, local dude, like gives back to the community and stuff. He was really good friends with Charlie in high school. So when Charlie became famous and stuff, to him, it's just still his like old friend from high school. So and Tony has never had a sip of alcohol. He's been sober his whole life. So Tony's a great influence to have in your life, no matter who you are. So I think that attests to why he's stuck around a lot of our lives so long. So Tony said, hey, you get drafted, you get to meet Charlie. So sure enough, I get drafted 7th round, Toronto Bluejays. That come around about the next day, it seemed like I was up at Charlie's house playing catch with him, and we were chatting it up, cool. And he really likes baseball. So we've just been hitting it off, and yeah, we just play catch every once in a while. So we actually live pretty close to each other nowadays.
That's pretty amazing.
That's amazing, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. He's a legend. He's a good dude. So it's awesome. Let's
get more into like baseball, like your career from high school to getting drafted. So you went straight from California to Toronto. I've been to both. I've been to LA. I've been to Toronto, but they're both nice cities. But the LA vibes, they're different. Cool. LA vibes are different though.
Such different vibes. So right when you sign, you go to Florida off the bat because you got to go to the complex, like where they have us all train. Because Toronto's cold most of the time, right?
Yeah.
So right when you sign, you go to Clearwater, Florida, and that's just amazing, man. Like right when I pull up, you're with the veterans. Jose Reyes at the time, Marcus Stroman was coming up and like becoming a huge name for himself. Jose Bautista was the big name on the team. But you're right in the mix. Boom, you get drafted, and all of a sudden you go from this like high school kid that's just really just playing the game to just seeing these guys that are making millions of dollars in a matter of months to do baseball, to play baseball at a high level. So it was an immediate awakening, and it was amazing. It was the best experience I could describe. Full momentum shift. But Toronto and LA are like two of my favorite cities, I would say. LA, I have like a love-hate relationship with LA because I don't necessarily like all the hustle and bustle, but I do love the mountains being the sea. Toronto, I have a love-hate relationship because I don't like all the hustle and bustle, but it's such a beautiful thing, and it's such a beautiful city with so many good restaurants and such good nightlife and stuff. And games end late, so we need good restaurants.
That's true.
Yes.
So your draft day was the same day as your graduation day. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Interesting. It's cool you saw that. No one asked about that. I got drafted.
We do our research.
I graduated. Yeah. And I got to wear my Blue Jays hat because we were the same color. So I didn't wear the cap and gown, but I just rocked the Blue Jays hat with the gown. So that was a cool experience for sure. We were actually in a lockdown school shooting. Like there was a shooting near the school, so we were all like locked in. So it was like a downer day, but getting drafted was definitely like a plus.
Bittersweet.
Yeah, exactly.
So how was it moving from Toronto to then St. Louis and eventually now Kansas City?
Each time you shift a organization, you got to think. So each organization, the Toronto Blue Jays are its own billion-dollar organization. The Kansas City Royals are its own multi-million, billion-dollar organization. So they have their own culture and their own vibe when you show up. So when you shift teams, you can relate it to relationships. You can relate it to a lot of things. My heart was a little broken on the first time I got traded or moved. Because, you know, it was like the first girlfriend you've ever had. And
That's
you're just
true.
like, and you're just sad as heck and you've never been through it. But it is a part of life and we all go through it, you know, like
Right.
we all go through heartbreaks. And so I related to that because it's something people can relate to. But you show up and all you can do is merge yourself into this culture. Say, look, you know, like I'm here and I am a leader and I want to be a leader for y'all. So what is your wave? Like, what's your vibe? How can I add to this vibe? How can I personally add value, bring value to this organization for you? Because at the end of the day, we are doing it to win the World Series, right? So
Yeah.
Right.
And like one thing they tell you, like as fans, we see it's a business, but like you as a player, like went
business.
through that. So like it's very different on like both ends. We're like, okay, we just got a new player, we got draft picks, we're excited. For you,
Right.
it's just changing homes.
Full scene change.
Mhm.
First day of school again, you know, you're walking in nervous and you're meeting all your new friends, you know,
Yeah.
your new teammates. You're at like these guys you're going to go to battle with. So it's a total business and you got to get that through your head. The sooner you understand it, the less you're going to be sad when you get traded.
That's true.
It's you're playing for 30, 31, 32 teams. You're playing for them all, whatever.
Mhm.
Right.
So I don't even know how many damn teams there are. 32, right?
What's been like the best advice like someone gave you like coming in and like even till now like in your career in the league?
So I've had the blessing of just working with some of the freaking best names in baseball ever. Like just Pat Henkin, Reggie Saunders, Tim Raines, Rock Raines, like just names. I can just drop lists on lists of like legends that I've worked with from St. Louis, Toronto, everywhere. The best advice I think is I've gotten tons of good advice. I would say the best advice for me is for a kid coming in is when you get drafted and you get signed, whether the person signed for $4 million, you sign for $0 because that's how it works. You guys end up going to the same place. So if you're a $3 million guy or you're a zero guy, you need to go in with the same attitude, a humbled attitude. We are equal. We are at the same spot just because I got more money than you. And you keep a level head and genuinely believe that you are the person to make it. Because they're going to look in a room. You'll sit down in a room with 100 other guys, and you look around, the numbers say like 5 or some shit out of the 100 are supposed to make it. And you just need to internally believe, not like a cocky, like don't rub it in people's faces.
Yeah.
But just
But
have the confidence.
believe that you are the one that is going to make it to the major leagues, that you are going to have a successful career. You speak it into existence.
That's
So,
true.
That's true.
I forget. I saw it on Will Smith's Instagram recently. It was this illustration thing, and he was saying, it was Confucius says, the man that says he can do something and the man that says he can't do something, and this is like so off, it's not exact. The man that says he can do something and the man who says they can do something are often right.
Confucius said, he who says he can and he who says he can't are both usually right.
That's true.
That's it.
If you believe in yourself, anything's possible.
Exactly.
So if you say you can't, you're done. You're already right. You can't. But if you say you can, a lot of people are going to hate on it, but you keep on dreaming, man, and you put together some day after day after day of quality, and before you know it, look back, you look up and you're there, you know? So,
So would you say the sport of baseball is like a lot of mental involved?
I would say once you've gotten the fundamentals down and once you are at a certain level, I think 99 to 100% of the game. Like if you are a talented player, 100% of the game is mental.
Right.
100%. Because if you're talented and you got it, like once you've got the fundamentals down, now it's nothing left but your own mind. So.
Yeah, no, I'm like a high believer of like if you have talent, you're bound to get found, regardless of like
Where
what
you
you
are.
put out. Yeah, where you are, what situation you're gonna get found if you have the talent and the right mindset.
And the right mindset. Yeah. It's grit. They call it grit. And it's failure on failure on failure on failure on failure. But it's like something amazing. Like failure is something beautiful. I can't describe it.
You live and you learn.
Yeah. Seriously.
Your brother was also drafted, right? So was he? Did he like give you any advice, like getting into the league and all that?
My brother got drafted in the 13th round to the Twins, and he became a UFC fighter. uh, kickboxer, professional kickboxer. He didn't give me advice in the sense of literally baseball. He just gave me life advice and mindset advice and just being a man and how to work hard. You know, you want something, you got to put in these steps, but it's all possible. He just always gave me, him and my dad both, we always just had a good mindset where if you believe it and you want to do it, go ahead, do it. So yeah, he was a good role model.
For sure.
And he's a fighter, you know, so like
you gotta listen in or get beat up.
Yeah, exactly.
With all the teams you've been to, who's like your guy on each team you've been on? Like your guys in the locker room?
Yeah. Well, on the Blue Jays, so like you have your homies that are like the freshmen, like you came in like your first day of school homies, like first person you met type stuff. And I got some boys like Danny Jansen, who's their catcher right now. He is a good friend of mine, like Ryan Barucki, Thomas Pannone. The whole Blue Jays, Anthony Alford, like the entire Blue Jays, Jordan Romano, Roman Fields, like JD Davis. So the entire Blue Jays team that I played with, Kevin Biggio, Bo Bichette, they're all my homies. But those are the day ones because you come in and you earn respect with everyone because you're playing the whole season together. Exactly. Then with the St. Louis, I'd say my real close homies are Jack Flaherty, Harrison Bader, Jordan Hicks, and there's definitely more guys than I don't want to like forget anyone, but those are probably like some of my closer buddies. But I also have tons that there's just so many relationships.
Yeah, you can't name everyone. Yeah.
And then on the Kansas City, let me think. I've had less time with Kansas City. Brad Keller's the man. We're boys. Yeah. I don't know. I had 5 years with the Blue Jays, so you know I had dropped.
And that was your first team. That was your first team. So that's where it started.
That's where it's all started. Yeah.
Yeah. Jack Flaherty's the biggest on the Cardinals. I'd say homies. Harrison Bader, and then on the Blue Jays currently, Anthony Alford's probably like my closest homie. Yeah.
So, like, you know, we've all been in quarantine for like the last, 3-4 months. How have you been staying in shape?
So I have a physical therapist / my strength coach. So luckily physical therapy is a like necessity. So he was able to stay open. Okay. And that's his name's Zach. And I work out at Live Athletics in West Hills, like near Agora Hills, California. Yeah, so I've been staying with that every day, and I've just been playing catch against other pros. They're lucky, like there's a lot of good baseball players out here, so I've just been doing what I can. And, it's not easy for anybody during this time.
Yeah. Especially
like with food resources and some of these things, but I've just been trying to keep it as normal as I can, staying away from people.
How do you feel about this 60-game season, the shortened, condensed season?
I mean, I'm glad that we're playing, but I think it's just going to be difficult, you know, keeping guys not sick, and it's just going to be hard. But I think the MLB and teams are doing the best that they can, and I think they're doing a great job.
Yeah, no, it's definitely like with everything going on, it's hard just to like have like 100% clear like outlook. But like it's good that MLB's back and they're working towards like they're working in the right direction.
Yeah. It's a little hard without the bubble though, because like the NBA has a bubble where I think it's a little bit hard with larger team sports.
Yep. Yeah. You got not only that many games in a season, that many players, but if you had 15 games, then a bubble would be awesome because you hold them there for some weeks. But can't do that with baseball. So
what were your thoughts about the Astros? Because, you know, if I was in the league and I saw that happen, I'd be pretty pissed.
All right, so like my first thoughts, because I am just such a like loose. I'm not very political. I'm not very anything, and I never land on the extreme side of anything because I'm always trying to put myself in the other person's shoes.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
So and I'm always just trying to just not be that extreme. I just want to feel everyone's side of it and just be like a good person and understand everyone. So with that being said, the Astros again. So like trying to put myself in their shoes, but there was no. With that one, there was no, like, I don't give them any excuse. So I don't feel happy for them. I love what Joe Kelly's doing. I love what guys are in the league are doing because as a pitcher and as a man and a competitor, And that's honestly, it's a fucking $1 billion they made. You made $1 billion from playoffs or some shit. So for you to cheat out another team out of that much money, or players out of that much opportunity, or my buddy Mike Bolzinger, like I'm sure you read in some of the reports, like I played with Mike. He's a baller pitcher, and he's coming back, trying to make it back in the league and like get back in the major leagues, and you have the Astros like cheating off him. So like he's a guy that needs the break, and you have people cheating. It's like I can understand how a lot of guys are real upset.
Yeah, and like as a competitor or as a player in the league, like your end goal is to win a championship.
Right.
So,
and for them to deliberately just like swoop that away.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, we all cheat a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, in the sense of
human nature.
Like we all cheat, like in the sense of like people use sticky stuff on their hands, or like people, like when there's a runner on second base, like they'll throw their hands out and try and steal signs. Yeah. But that's the game within the game. But they were like using technology to cheat.
Yeah.
That's just when we're all like fuck you.
Yeah, you can't be doing that. Like, that's just another level that they just crossed the line.
And it makes it even better that they're all doing terrible now. It's like, well, look how much you were relying on that.
That's true.
Yeah. But what sucks is I respect it. I liked Bregman, I liked Springer, and I liked a lot of these guys. I respected them a ton. I'm not saying I don't respect them now. But, I wasn't there, and I wasn't in the league at the time, and I wasn't on the Yankees. So I don't have as strong as a feeling. But, that's just not class. It blows my mind that none of them are serving suspensions, though.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what
and then Joe Kelly throws a pitch at him and taunts at him and he gets suspended.
Yeah, so that's crazy. But again, nothing like that's ever happened before. They don't know how to punish a whole team that's currently in the league. Like Pete Rose wasn't even like playing anymore. I feel like, so they were able to get his ass out of there. But yeah, whatever. I don't know. Shit's crazy.
So, every baseball player has a superstition, wear the same T-shirts, like stuff like that. Like, what's yours? Or if you ever had one?
I went through it just because I thought I should, like everyone else. You got to be like everyone else on stuff. But no, I don't have any superstitions. I feel like they just hinder you because, let's say I don't have those underwear that I want to wear that day or something, like I forgot them, or I'm too forgetful to be superstitious.
No, it's all mental, man. It's all mental. You think you're wearing the same shirt you're winning, you're gonna keep wearing it. But if you don't think about it, it's not gonna matter.
Yeah, it's completely mental. And for me, like I just said, I'm too forgetful. Like if I had special cleats that I needed to win the game, I would forget them over and over again. I'm like, oh, well, I didn't even bring the shit that I needed to bring. So yeah, it's all mental.
So now, as part of the Kansas City Royals, reports came out that Patrick Mahomes is a part owner. How does it feel to have an NFL player to be a part owner of your team?
That kid's a beast. I mean, honestly, like if you hear him speak to his team, like watch some of these highlight videos of how he leads his team. Like that's how when you are a pro organization, you want a leader like that on your squad, in your locker room. I aim to be like that, with my own team. So no, that shit is sick. He just well deserved of all that money, and then I'm glad that he's putting like some of it immediately right into ownership. Why I think that's going to be a good investment is because I think this is a team that is in a rebuild phase. So in about 4 years, because it takes a long time to move that much money anyway. It's not like he just gave them $100 million, right off.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think by the time all that starts getting worked out anyway, the Royals will be in line to win another World Series. So he'll be on like a hype thing, right?
And I'm sure in the next couple years,
Chiefs too.
Yeah, we'll have an opportunity to win. So he's gonna have 2 championships with the Chiefs and then another one with the Royals.
Yeah, and imagine what his trophy box is gonna look like. He's got MVP plus his rings from multi-sports.
Yeah, that would be something else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's pretty incredible. What a freaking career!
And he's only
so
been
fast.
playing he's been only playing for three. He's been in the league for 3 years and 2 years playing. It's insane.
No, that really is crazy.
So let's get ready to wrap it up. Let's talk about Retro Taurus, your brand.
All right, so Retro Taurus is basically based off my partner and I. Michael Mazarski is this dude. He had a store in Aspen, Colorado in 1960. And me and Michael are very similar. We live these types of lives. So Retro Tourist is just based off our life and our vibe. This one's the surfing kind of looking one. but we got a lot of cool designs. They're all originals from me and him, and we're just trying to build it and trying to inspire, and we're gonna give back every sale to different charities that we find across the nation and stuff. So it's gonna be something good. It is just in the making. Hopefully by next week it'll be up on Shopify and we can be getting some stuff out to everybody. But yep, shout out Retro Tourist. Please go follow it at Retro Tourist, and yeah.
We should have got Retro Tourist shirt too, so we could have just repped the brand,
Yeah, I should have sent it out prior.
No, but that's amazing what you're doing. It's amazing how you're giving back to charity with the shirts, and the shirts look great in my opinion. I checked out your page; it was amazing.
Thanks.
It's a really good LA vibe, and Santa Monica is especially from where you're from.
Yeah, I think it embodies, the whole culture that I'm bringing anyway. So I figured I might as well share that culture with the world. Yeah.
All right, well, Conner, let's wrap it up. It was great talking to you. Great learning about your career, and going forward, all the best. Hope one day we see you pitching for the Kansas City in the World Series.
I really hope so. Glad I could be on here, guys. Thank you.
Yes. No problem. Thank you for interviewing with us. We hope to see you do your best in the future, and good luck.
All righty. I'll talk to you guys later. See ya.
See ya.
You the real MVP.